Blurddot, Blurddot, Blurddot Radio, Blurddot Radio, Blurddot Radio.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy DJ Lokari, and I'm here with the host of Blurddot. It's a young man who's been doing this for quite a long time. He goes by the name. Wait, I'm gonna find your thing because we're gonna actually play your thing.
I thought I was gonna do that.
Well, you are. I just want to play your thing because your thing's dope. There it is.
Let me take a pose.
Hold on. It's too good. That is a really, really long.
All you gotta do is click it again and it'll cut off.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a long thing. How about we let you take over from here, from this point on, Michael Ford?
Oh, hey, it's me, Mike Slidham of Blurddot. Thank you for joining us. I am here with
Blurddot,
DJ Lokari,
DJ Lokari,
and Kenny.
Oh my God! She killed Kenny! You
Bastard!
We're gonna be talking about a movie that dropped recently. About a familiar DC superhero, perhaps the DC superhero. We're going to be talking about the Batman here today.
Oh, shit.
That's how you know we've been working together for a while. I didn't realize that was going to happen before I said it. As I was saying it, I was like, stop so you can play a drop.
This Chicago, nigga!
Speaking of which, we should probably give people a little warning. Hold on a second.
Warning. The following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Bars.
That's right, niggas.
Yeah.
I thought we about to spoil some shit. So right now, if you're watching and you haven't seen the Batman, turn it off. Come back.
You should leave. You should most definitely leave.
Get the fuck out of here.
No. It's time to go. Get your.
So we didn't write out rundown the topics really for this. We're just gonna kind of go off of the cuff.
Should we show the trailer to people just in case they ain't seen it? The trailer yet, I guess.
Yeah, sure. It'll give us some time to gather some thoughts about it.
All right. Well, cool. Here's the quick trailer. We gonna all view it together of the Batman.
When that light hits the sky, it's not just a call, it's a warning.
From your secret friend, who, haven't a clue. Let's play a game, just me and you. This is about a king. And prisoners to match. I'm just here to unmask the truth about this cesspool we call a city. I've been trying to reach you. How am I about this? Oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
Selina, don't throw your life away.
I can take care of myself.
You need a friend of yours? I'm not so sure.
Maybe we're not so different. Who are you under there?
I'm vengeance.
Yeah.
I'm your mother.
Our justice
and vengeance.
Please do not lie.
Mr. Wayne.
Don't get vengeance.
What is the price for your blind eye?
Nothing left. I don't care what happens to me.
You better stop your goddamn vehicle now!
Fucking naked!
Vengeance.
He was a little bit. Little bit.
Lied to me, Alfred. We all have our scars, Bruce. We need to save them. Here and now.
Or you just need a safeguard.
Message!
All right, well,
how about we start up the conversation with things that this movie did well. For example, the three ways that they demonstrated this theme of vengeance. Like you have Bruce Wayne beating the shit out of people, solving mysteries, trying to save Gotham from itself. You have Catwoman trying to get revenge on her spoiler father. And you have the Riddler trying to get vengeance against the world because he feels like he lost out on this experience that Thomas Wayne promised him, and then he had to live as a foster kid who clearly could have been a really good engineer of some sort. I think that that's the best thing that the movie pulled off. I also liked how the setting looked. Elgin mentioned in the theater that they managed to combine New York and Chicago in different shots. Living in Chicago, there were definitely scenes from downtown and under the train. Yep. I think specifically the Randolph train station was used. Mm-hmm. I've run up those steps many times trying not to miss the Green Line when I lived on the west side. The setting, the costumes were good. And yeah, all in all, a damn good movie. Easily the second best Batman movie. Now, I only say it's the second best because only one of them had Heath Ledger in it, and Heath Ledger did a hell of a job.
Absolutely.
For sure. It was more the Dark Joker than the Dark Knight, but we can get into that another time. Whoever wants to go next, what do y'all think about it?
Kenny, go ahead.
Yeah, I from start to finish, I was very impressed by this movie.
For sure.
Its ability to be its own thing, but also to, in really cool ways, kind of combine a lot of classic Batman stories, but also stories that are like still very recent. Mm. But yeah, the setting, Mike, I thought they had excellent use of like
definitely
shots at night, but not being too dark or overly dramatic. But also, I loved all their like shots above during like when it's clearly dawn breaking.
Yeah.
So it's like it's just enough light for like Batman to still be like in those shadows, but also to realize that like he's not just living like in this weird like it like him like just he's not just hanging out at night all the damn time. Like I feel like every Batman movie, especially the Nolan ones, he's like just asleep during the day or like it's really weird. I also enjoyed the fact that like this Bruce Wayne was a recluse. I think a lot of the ideas of Bruce Wayne are very much the playboy, but also I think what gets lost is like he lost parents. Like there has to be a time where he actually grieved, and it wasn't just him learning to be the Batman. So I liked how Matt Reeves kind of like directed Robert Pattinson to kind of like I guess Kurt Cobain was his motivation in terms of like which is fascinating. I think I posted on my IG like Matt Reeves quote about how he utilized Kurt Cobain as like this reclusive musician who loved doing the thing but also hated the popularity that came with it, which is kind of what Batman is. Like he doesn't like being Batman, but he doesn't mean like being recognized as, I guess, but also he wants to do it because he knows he's trying to be helpful. It was very interesting how he used those comparisons, but also like this isn't emo Batman. This is like
for sure
Batman. Like I definitely like a lot of people like point to him being like emo. It's like no, this feels like a '90s Batman. Like if like he hung out in Seattle instead of
True.
husband.
It's Batman in his early 20s. Like that's
honestly,
this is how he would be.
And I think it was really cool. Like it was honestly a different look for him. And I like that you actually got to see him be a detective. You got to see him actually utilize his utility belt for other things besides just a grappling hook. Like
for sure.
He had so many, like all these little nuanced things that a nerd, like a comic book nerd that I am, but also just like how it was shot. I know a big thing that people had a problem with was the length. I actually had no problem with it. I went with my brother.
True. I didn't either.
Friends. I had I think it was like 7 of us. Half of us didn't think it was that big a deal, but the other like kind of half of us did. Especially when that third act hits, and you kind of know like, okay, we're hitting that climax. But like that last hour is just full on balls to the wall. It doesn't slow down.
And it's not like you forget that, like the Riddler had a plan. What was his plan? Now that we're
exactly.
Done
I think
with
that's
this
where people kind of get lost because a lot of the Batman movies, you don't actually get to see plans come to fruition. Which I feel like which is why I think these movies are better than Nolan's. Like, I think there actually is something to seeing the villain win. Like, even in with Dark Joker, Nolan, like the way the Joker like still fails, Gotham still wins in the end. Nothing terrible happens. Like everything goes back to the status quo. Whereas you see a lot of Gotham lose itself because it has to it's basically like redeem itself. Like that was I think an important part of the movie was that like Batman was looking at vengeance the wrong way because it like I think you just kind of mentioned it like it was corrupted. Whereas like this movie is more about redemption, and you don't see like as much as you see Catwoman helping him, this is still Bruce in his Batman in his early years, so he's still struggling. Like, but also he's still a good detective. Like he's still doing all this dope stuff. So, it might be like I really had to sit down and think about this all weekend. It probably is my like top tier #1 Batman. Like because I can go back. I love those Nolan movies, but I can go back to those in each movie and find so many things that just like bore me or bug me about because Nolan can there's a certain way Nolan directs his movies, and you have to really be into that, I think, to appreciate it. And I feel like he did just enough of those Batman movies that people kind of like don't like give it a little bit of leeway, whereas like I'll watch enough Nolan movies like, nah man, that shit don't work in Batman. Like it just becomes off really boring and kind of preachy. In ways where this Batman's like, there are messages, there are things that he gets at about like we're talking about financials and like corruption and like the police department and like even Catwoman and like how she like calls out, white male corruption, which I thought was awesome.
Which people are calling, this Batman's too woke.
And he really, honestly, he wasn't woke. It was everybody around him. I think that's the other thing. Like people need to like actually like
literally everyone else around him.
Yeah, look at that, because that was the problem with why the Riddler didn't like Bruce Wayne. Was that, like he didn't think he was woke. So I think that like if people have a problem with that, I think that they lost the sauce of the movie.
For sure.
But oh man, I love that movie. I'm probably gonna go see it in IMAX because I need to go see it again in IMAX just for that car chase scene with the Penguin. Also, shout outs to Colin Farrell for playing the Penguin.
Best part in the movie.
Best part.
Unrecognizable. Completely unrecognizable.
I couldn't recognize him at all. Yeah, like Danny DeVito is a better character Penguin, but if you want Penguin from the comics, that's also like this, like he kind of came up through the ranks of Falcone to run the underworld. I like this Penguin because you really get to see him be more of a badass as opposed to just like a kind of cowering. Like he actually runs shit. Like there was, and I think that's why people maybe didn't. I think that's where I had a couple friends who didn't like it because Matt Reeves really fleshed out a lot of the Batman characters who are central to Batman's universe that aren't necessarily just like one-off villains like the Penguin and the stuff he did with Gordon. Like I didn't even get to Gordon, but I don't want to keep going too quickly because I want to get to Elgin. But like I thought that Jeffrey Wright played an excellent role. James Gordon.
DJ,
I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we talking just highlights right now, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So
General
as far as
impression.
okay, so right off the bat, I have to first off give big props to the score of the film.
Yeah.
Like so as a person that was coming into this film, absolutely being like, yo, man, I don't give a shit. I'm not excited about this. Nothing like that. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna go because it's Batman. Like, I'm gonna go because it's Batman, whatever. But I'm not excited about this film at all. I was quickly. Mike was sitting next to me. I quickly was like, I was wrong. I actually do like this a lot, actually.
If you don't ask me beforehand, I would tell you you'd probably be wrong.
Yeah, man, it was a lot of deep cuts in this film. There was a lot of I love what they were doing with this being like a year 2 Batman, someone that's like still figuring things out. I liked his relationship with of course with almost all the characters. It felt very true to Batman, you know what I mean? Like it was one of the first Batman films that actually felt like Batman. I liked all like the deep cup stuff, like his suit like having talons on it and whatnot. Like that was dope. Also like
the suit from the video game, like that was like that's the suit they use in Arkham Knight, like the bulkiness, but also like how it actually like works physically for him and makes him look stronger than what he is. Totally from the video game. Like they definitely the assignment was to use their resources, they used them.
Most definitely, man. I completely agree with what Kenny is saying too. It's like also one thing that I've been waiting for them to do with more Batman films. And one of my favorite parts of the Keating universe is not being afraid to be silent, man. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's like the things that you don't say are even better. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a moment in the film where I was watching a review, and I think Jeremy Johns had pointed it out. But one of the things he was like, there was a moment in where Batman was, checking out the scene or whatever, and it was like the other guard, one of the security guards, like jumps in and he's like, "What are you doing?" And Batman just looks at him like,
"Yeah."
He's like, "Yeah, go ahead, man. You can do what you need to do. That's fine." You know what I'm saying? And he asked him later, he's like, "Yo, man, that's evidence. You ain't allowed to touch that." And he's like,
"Yes."
All right, crazy man in the mascot outfit.
Right, you gonna tell this dude like not to touch evidence and shit, man. Also, man, I love like I said, the relationship between Gordon and Batman in this one, man. Like it felt real. You know what I'm saying? Like it was dope, man. You know what I mean? They was hard on for each other. You know what I'm saying? It was good. Yeah, man, it was dope. Yeah, and I think we already discussed the cinematography. That was really well done.
Yeah.
I like also that they didn't have to necessarily tell you the origin story with telling you the origin story. Like as in like how Bruce's parents died. Like they didn't have to like show you. And that was another thing I felt like this movie did better too with a lot of film than most Batman films, is they showed you more than they told you. You know what I mean? Like if you were just watched and a little bit about Batman, all that kind of stuff, then this movie told you everything. Like all the moments with him looking at the mayor's son. You know what I mean? Like you knew exactly how what Batman was feeling at the moment. And I liked how fucking dark it was. Perfect. As in not necessarily how it's a dark, gloomy ass movie. I'm talking about it physically being dark. Like that was one of the best parts for me, because I remember I still to this day fall asleep watching Batman the Animated Series, right? And one of the reasons because it was painted on black, so I can sleep better. You know what I mean? So man, it's just I love the darkness and I love the actual physically how the film looked being dark. That was one of my favorite parts of it.
Yeah, like a lot of those other DC films, it wasn't just that they were dark and gritty. It's just that they were shot really grainy.
Hard to see.
Yeah. Hard to see. But the way Matt Reeves shot it, it was like that scene where they're on the train's platform and he's in the dark.
But
as he comes closer and closer to that one piece of light, you see that imagery of him. It's like, okay, that's what it should look like.
This is what Batman should be. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And again, it gives. There was a lot of stuff in here that gives the character room to grow. Can we also just point out that we had was it 5 or 6 different villains? How many?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carmine, Falcone, the Penguin, Catwoman, who was kind of a villain. She was as much of a villain as Batman was in this one. Except she did steal money. Batman tends not to steal money.
And you got goons, and you also got and then you got the Riddler. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the twins were funny.
For those of y'all and for a lot of people that are like, oh man, like this movie's too long, blah blah blah, 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 blah. It's like we live in a generation now where we have all these like Netflix series and whatnot, and we never get a chance to see these stories fully get fleshed out. I felt like by the end of this movie, I saw a full-fledged film like this. Like I felt like there was nothing more that you possibly needed to tell at the end of this until we get to the next one. Like I know that it felt long, but honestly, man, for me, it was like once we got to the end, I almost was like, I can watch like a little bit more of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me more. So, oh yeah, I mean, and yes, Zoe Kravitz was amazing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Catwoman.
Not only is she a very nice to look at. Shout outs to her parents. Y'all did an amazing job putting that chemistry together. Y'all did an amazing job, man. You know, shit. Shout outs to Lady Kravitz and Lisa Bodissel. Y'all made y'all a fine daughter, boy. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all made you. Woo! Good job. Hang. One more hand clap. But no, in all seriousness, no, she did a great job. By far, my favorite Catwoman that I've seen on film. You know what I mean? It's a real toss-up between her and Michelle Pfeiffer, but really, really great job. And I mean, like, I felt like this movie felt like a love letter to all different incarnations of Batman. For me,
It definitely was.
A live action and versions of Batman. So for me.
So let's next get into the characters. The first that I want to talk about, of course, is Batman.
Batman.
I feel like this iteration of Batman being in year 2, still being broken up. You know, I mean, Batman's never not broken up over the death of his parents, but still being like in the throes of it. I feel like the movie really focused more on what he didn't do than what he did. We're used to seeing Batman. It's about what I do. We're used to seeing Batman be perfect and like his narcissism fuck him up, or like him getting little kids killed because he's overconfident in his ability to train people. This Batman was afraid of heights. Like,
I know. I've never seen it, bro.
That could be a criticism. I think that's dope. Like, you see how often, one of the things I noticed maybe like a quarter of the way into the movie is he's never off the ground. Like, he's in the car or coming out of the shadows that are on the ground. He's not like hanging upside down from stuff. And there's that scene where they're on top of some tall building and he looks down and goes like, "Oh shit."
That's when
like,
when he's running away.
He's never done that.
Yeah, on top of the GCPD.
And then
my nigga did a bunch of yoinks and away. Yoinks and away. He did that shit a couple of times. I was like, bro, you gonna have to learn how to, getting his Buzz Lightyear on. This isn't flying. This is falling with style. Couple times.
That was the great part of like seeing a year 2 Batman. It's like he's not perfect, but also he's still very confident at his job, but also he's still gonna miss things. I think one of my favorite moments of the whole movie is when they keep fucking up La Rata and the Penguin like
nobody fucking paid attention to Spanish.
It's like y'all chased me.
Yeah.
Yo habla español. I'm like, this is dying in the theater.
That was funny. Yeah, this was Batman with limited tech. I think the most Batman-y thing he had was his recording contact lens.
He also had his back computer.
Yo, them contact lenses were crazy.
He had the back computer that he talked to with the Riddler on his in his gauntlet. So it's just like they really hit home on like how much tech, but even like his tech is still low tech. It's still pretty high tech. Like
there's no Lucius Fox yet.
Yeah,
you can tell. Yeah, man.
Maybe they'll make Lucius white in this one. You know, you never know.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I feel like it's past the time where that can be excused. But yeah, I like that. My favorite thing about Batman's development in this story is he's vengeance until Riddler says, "I'm vengeance," and he's like, "Ah, shit, I can't be vengeance. I got to be more than this.
I love
I can't
that
just be
part
out
of the
here
story.
beating ass." Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the thing about the Riddler that I think. Well, I don't want to get too far into the Riddler because we're still talking about Batman himself. Why I liked him, but for all the complexities of all of the Batman villains, the Riddler is one that I don't think gets enough respect because, in a sense, the way they utilized him in this movie. And which goes back to how they use him at times in the comic books. Like, the Riddler's also been a detective. Like, he's been paid to be a private eye because of how incredibly intelligent and how well he is at, like, observation. So, I love that they use that nuance and just how well how good he is at being this, like, killer, but also being this, like, not necessarily strong man who's extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
And has serious axe to grind, and when he's focused, he's very deadly.
For sure. Ken, you want to elaborate on those Batman thoughts? Because that's what I got. I yield my time. So whichever one of y'all wants to talk.
Oh yeah, in terms of Batman, like, are we ranking him now or no? Are we just like
breaking him down? Yeah.
Just break it down. I think like what you thought about him.
I liked the 20s Batman. I thought that Robert Pattinson did an excellent job at just making the character himself. I think a lot of times every actor who's been Batman has either been really campy or like they've tried to match the tone and energy of that decade. Whereas I feel like Robert Pattinson was just Robert Pattinson being Bruce Wayne being Batman. It never felt awkward to me. I know my friend was like, he's gonna hate Nirvana music forever now. But
why like the next day I just kept thinking about, like, instead of saying something in the way, I just kept thinking something in the waves. Like, just imagine Robert Pattinson combing his hair, something in your waves.
No, like that was the thing. Like, this was a Bruce Wayne who was still a recluse, who honestly was more Batman than just being this playboy that we have basically seen in most of the movies. I thought this is more an honest depiction through and through, which is this lonely individual who's still who's finally gone through all this training. Who's just now trying to put it all together.
Do you feel like they should have shown him training more?
No. Hell
okay.
We don't need that again. We've seen that a few times.
Yeah. I mean, like, for me, it was like I would rather have a little bit more imagination on what you're training to do, and then you try to like just tell me. You know.
But that's the thing about Batman. You can, if you need that Elgin, there's plenty of like other media.
Exactly.
He's out there fighting ninjas in the cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the animated series probably had the best like backstory to his training.
To this day, if I'm in front of a candle, I'll try to like swing at it.
Yeah, right. So there, I think that this Batman himself is a lot more nuanced, and it is not just a campy Batman. It's not just a comic booky Batman, but like it's a Batman that actually feels a little bit relatable. Like whatever they were trying to do with the Joker movie, I think that's what they actually kind of did here, especially with the Riddler, because like we live in a society where like there are people who feel like the Riddler, and there are people who actually feel like they like in terms of what vengeance looks like for justice, that feel like Batman. And so I think there was a lot more of a breakdown in terms of like kind of challenging those perceptions of what about what is justified violence. Where like you know how I feel like the Punisher is still nobody's figured out how to do that with the Punisher. Yeah. They figured out how to kind of do that with this Batman. We're just like like even down to him no guns. Like, I popped so hard when he told Gordon no guns, and Gordon was like,
No
that's
guns.
like,
No, that's your thing, bro.
I'm going away.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
I want no guns.
yeah, like, down to that. And even what Elgin said, too, like, no talking. Like, silence is golden. Like, let your jawline tell the story.
Yeah. Also, his eyes were more. I feel like they took more. They put more emphasis on Batman's eyes than I've seen.
Yes, his eye.
Like,
yes.
where the Riddler's like Bruce Wayne, and you kind of see him look a little sad.
Yes, like you keep seeing like this kind of like oh shit.
Yeah.
Like
But then he tells him like, listen, you're gonna die alone. You're crazy, all right?
Yeah. Like,
I don't know what you talking about.
You're a psychopath. Like, whoa, damn, hold on, son. No, you can't.
Like,
You can't say that to me.
But that was
You're crazy.
But like even Batman doesn't recognize that he's part of the like while he's trying to do good, he's part of the problem. In that moment he kind of recognizes that, and so. But also that kind of really ties into his Bruce Wayne alter ego, which is also what I think this movie does a good job of showing us is that like Bruce Wayne is just there to exist as a face and barely that. Where like Batman is who he is right now. Even as he struggles to figure that out, like even like his interactions with Alfred are still tense and tears. Like they're not those interactions that most folks are into, where like there's a positive relationship. Like they reach it by the end of the film, but at the beginning it's still like Alfred's doing a lot of the work too. Still like. Whereas you see Bruce actually finally has to like realize he has to do this for himself. Like you can't just constantly count on Alfred. In some of those times where it's like you see Bruce growing up. I think
he's still like angsty teenager Bruce.
You're not
my dad, Alfred.
Seriously, he's a
like damn dog, go sit your.
Like we've all been in our mid-20s and hated shit. Like this is basically like we've all been there in that age, and I feel like this feels like that version of a Batman where it's like, okay, I can relate to that. I like my 20s were sometimes a pain in the ass. Like I knew a parent, but I know that angst of just being still trying to figure your life out, just still coming into your own, you know.
Sure.
So
yeah, actually having to run out of the police station this time.
Yeah, right.
Every cop is trying to shoot him.
Yo, I just think that this Batman Bruce Wayne just felt consistent from start to finish. Because even Christian Bale, his Batman talked to that much. Like Nolan.
Yeah, man. And then no one wanted to hear that voice. No. I don't wear hockey pads.
Yeah, like no one did this Christian Bale having like talking so much. Like he had way too much dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Rob Pattinson like really nailed a different version that I appreciate more so than the other Batmans that come in the past.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kenny.
Kevin Conroy's the shit. He's the GOAT.
True.
Best Batman ever.
Yeah.
It's like Mark Hamill, best Joker ever.
True.
Heath Ledger, close second. But Mark Hamill's the GOAT. DJ Lokari, what's your take on this Batman?
Yeah, man. So I like this Batman. I like I said, man. Angsty, not quite figured it out right. Batman, it's cool with me. You know what I mean? And I think like it does speak to like who he was at the time. You know, like I know they had those moments even in Batman Begins where they showed him being a little bit more emo in the beginning before he figured it out. But we didn't get a chance to spend that much time with him when he was figuring that out. You know, they switched over to him being the playboy, and then it was it. But it was like, dude, it's no telling like how long this man actually grieved his parents before. Like, there's a lot of time that went on before he actually started being regular ass Batman and shit. And I appreciate that they actually giving us that time to see that. Nah, this dude was kind of depressed. You know, like for real, and trying to figure this stuff out, you know, and now I'm gonna go beat the shit out of people on my second year wearing this costume, and people think I'm weird as fuck. Like, yeah, man, that shit weird as shit. Like, I like that scene where he had to like escape. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, from the cops, because they were just like, who the fuck, you know, take this nigga's mask off right now. Like, I don't give a shit. Gordon, what the fuck are you doing, man? You go trust this guy? You know, it's great. I like this version of him because again, like I said, I like when we get chances to see characters grow over time. Like I really like that. So for us to get this opportunity to actually see him grow as the character, I really appreciate it. Because I mean, yeah, they can still do the Playboy thing in the next movie. You know, like if they get the opportunity to, then yeah, I think that's something that can be built over time. It allows us to feel like we're kind of growing with the character. And I mean, like, also Robert Pattinson will grow up and be more, you know, like we don't act like this dude cannot be charismatic later on in his life.
Yeah.
Like that person's coming, but I think like for that you're gonna have to wait. So you know, give him a reason to be that, because right now he's still going through shit. So and if they do decide to do that, great. I can't wait to see them do that. Yeah, like the scenes with him not being able to fly quite well, that was dope. I liked seeing the makeup. You know what I'm saying? I like the Batman voice. You know what I'm saying? But also maybe I'm biased because you know.
Sound scary. Like, I'd be scared of a guy in a Batman outfit that I just saw beat up 8 people. He was like,
yeah.
If he walked up and was like, "Where is she?" I'd be like, "Wait, what?" Right? Why you sound like that? It would be like the first time seeing Mike Tyson knock somebody out on the street.
Well, yeah.
Like, you got a problem? I'd be like, a little bit. Why you sound like that?
Why you sound like that? I'm a little confused, but yeah. But other than that, yeah.
Room for growth. Yeah.
Room for growth.
He could sound scarier later.
Yeah, give him some time. Give the brother some time, you know. So overall, man, I really did enjoy this version of Batman. And I, you know, even dirty ass Batmobile that looks scary as shit, and you know, and he's still like trying to figure out how to not kill nobody. He has his heart's in the right place. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You know,
slowly.
He's trying, man. He bless his heart. You know what I'm saying? He trying not to kill people, but he's like, well, I can't save them. That was actually technically Penguin. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Penguin wasn't running like that, then he wouldn't have got killed. But I didn't like, you know, just straight up murk somebody.
Anytime Batman does a car chase, people die.
I mean, you know, but it ain't his fault. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what you want me to do, bro?
An enemy, that's all.
You know what I mean? Also, man, you can tell that, like, my God, like, Alfred was just like, this nigga get on my nerves, bro. Like, if you don't go out and do something, he's trying to smash kitty cat ladies on a, you know, like, damn, dog. Oh, I guess she ain't gonna be coming home to dinner. You know, you just pissed off. But anyway, man, I did like this one. Nikki has had a comment in here. She said she said she was a fan of the voice, so that's good. So you know what I'm saying? And I most definitely liked how they showed the makeup under. Like for real. Like they've never done that, man. There's that infamous scene from from the second Batman Returns movie where just before before Keaton takes off his mask, like the makeup just automatically gone and shit. It's like like you know we can see you, bro, right? Like this is real, bro. So I like that they're showing like, you know, hey, like this is
more technical with it.
Give us some chance.
It adds to the character because again, his eyes are very expressive in this one. You don't have like his eyes aren't part of the suit. Like his eyes are his eyes, you know.
Yeah.
Finally got my DE. What's the DE, Calvin?
What's it? Calvin just got a DE. Shout outs for Calvin. You know what I'm saying? Get that DE. He got that D. Shout outs, man. You know what I'm saying, for getting that D. You know what I'm saying? We proud of you, brother. You know.
Good job with the D. Keep that. Oh, detective. There we go.
Oh. Detective movie. Oh, okay. We thought you was talking about just getting the D, man. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna be proud of you, brother, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you
detective.
You sure that what it was?
I was sure I was muted. I was like, I think you
know, it's all good, bro.
Sort of, maybe he accidentally hit DC. I don't know.
Nah, man, I was, you know, whatever it is, bro. You know, so hard. As long as you got, you know, if you got that D, it's all.
Let's keep the conversation.
All to the good.
Let's just pick up the train and put it back on the track. Riddler. I thought the Riddler was a good character. Elgin, you were in the bathroom when this happened, or you were getting food or something. At the very beginning, when I first saw the mayor walk past and then the Riddler come out and kill him, that shit was genuinely scary. Like that, that looks like.
I heard a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah. The Riddler was like a combination of Seven, Saw, the actual Batman Riddler, like genuinely a scary character.
Yeah.
And a scary character who I'm not gonna say he was justified to make a contraption that use rats to eat a man's face off.
You know
but
what, bro? Yeah, it's a bit much,
the fact
bro.
that his fixation with Bruce Wayne being like, oh, look at this orphan with $1 billion that everybody wants to talk about.
I mean, I feel like
Orphan in
people.
the streets, like that was.
He wasn't in here shooting in the gym.
He wasn't shooting in the
Man.
We had rats, nigga.
You wake up with rats eating your
Shit.
Ivory tower.
Oh, look at your nice ass tower.
Oh,
You got me fucked up.
it's real. It's real out here, son. I don't know what he was doing out there.
He was not happy about that shit, bro. He was pissed. He was so mad. And you know, like, and plus, I like that they added in, like, you know, the thought process of, like, his mom. You know, I didn't know that Martha's last name was actually Arkham. Like, I heard that is some things that they actually included in the comments, like that her real name was Arkham.
I remember in Arkham Asylum there
Wayne,
was something about it.
That was brilliant.
Martha Wayne losing her mind. That's from an alternate universe where Thomas Wayne becomes Batman.
Yeah.
Martha Wayne becomes the Joker. It is like. These are like I was like, oh, that's great because the Arkham family like is completely separated in some iterations. So it's like I love that he chose different stories to utilize that all made sense. It all worked together.
Tight.
That's what Elgin was saying, that this was like a love letter to so many different Batman titles and, you know, different media outlets for Batman. But yeah. The Riddler realizing he won again. Going back to 7, he was like, "No, I already got it. I'm gonna flood the whole city. Y'all can arrest me. Like it's cool." He's like,
man.
Like,
Brilliant.
yeah, it's too late. But I did
like that part. Yeah, I'll get to that one when it's my turn because I love that part too.
I also like that with all the detective work Batman did, Riddler was like, "Oh, you didn't see that."
Yeah.
Not as smart as I thought you were.
I was like, Riddler's like, I was purposely corny as shit. You had no idea, man. You know, you thinking hard as fuck about this, huh? You know what I'm saying?
You ain't get that part yet.
No.
Damn.
Thumb drive.
Upset. Yeah, the thumb drive part was
thumb drive. I was like, bro, if you don't get your corny ass out of here somewhere.
I loved it. I actually giggled a lot.
I giggled quite a bit actually for a lot of those scenes, man. I ended up giggling quite a bit, bro. That shit was funny as fuck to me. So y'all get it? Thumb drive?
And nudge. But yeah, I thought it's Paul. What's the guy's name?
Paul Dano.
Who I first saw saw in Little Miss Sunshine. Very different movie.
Oh yeah, he sure was in that shit, wasn't he?
Yeah. Him playing a psychopath. I think he did a real good job of it.
Just a little bit. Maybe a little too good at it.
Well, he said it gave him nightmares.
Shit. I can see why.
He's
it's like,
pretty hardcore psychopath.
You don't have to go that route with your actions, but if you do, you know.
I mean,
by the way, happy Sunday to Nerdy Bear Studio. You know what I'm saying? Happy Sunday to you too, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Happy Lord's Day to you.
Lord's Day. Let's get out.
The day the Lord
also, let us know what you thought of the Batman if you've seen it already in the comments. You know what I mean?
For sure. But that wraps up my Riddler breakdown. Kenny, what do you think?
This Riddler is really good. I won't say that it's the best because it's only been 2, or 3. The Sprint Gorshin from the original, who is one of my favorites. I just love his laugh. But this, like, Paul Dano is able to like use just enough camp, but just be just like dark with in terms of like that Saw 7 range. It's just like that's really good. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the video game kind of gave this really like very weak perception of the Riddler because you don't really fight him and you don't really like just kind of solve some riddles that don't necessarily lead to murder.
Even though they still pay homage to it with the Riddler sign, yes, I think it's specifically from Arkham City.
I loved every riddle, because it made it seem like Batman was keeping up with him, and then you really see like the extra layer of intelligence that the Riddler has.
I'm dead. He said that Kanye. I'm dead.
What? Kanye would have used potato sacks. He wouldn't have.
I'm dead.
He wouldn't have used leather.
I ain't gonna lie though. He do like one of them Kanye fits though, bro. I ain't,
walks out on the runway.
I'm just saying, man.
Yo, his combat mask. Yeah.
We gonna wear this fit, fam.
It would be in different colors.
This is a mask I'm gonna put on Pete Davidson.
It'd be like midnight blue.
Yeah, it do look like Kanye about that's the fit that Kanye gonna wear trying to fuck up Pete Davidson.
Yeah, that's what we're gotta have beef with.
Yo, fuck that guy.
Fuck Kanye.
Right, but yo, Riddler, I love that they used a lot of his stories where he is this extraordinary individual. I mean, a lot of the Riddler stories that like I don't think people like notice or have seen that I even forgot about, where like the Riddler is a really impressive detective.
Yeah.
And you see him match wits with a young Batman who's still trying to figure it out. And actually, not just matching him, but outwitting him. Because that third act, when you get to like all his followers and like what happens with like basically blowing up the city and drowning it, like that was one of my favorite runs of the Riddler in terms of my comic book rating with Batman. As I've talked on Blurddot very often, I'm a huge Batman fan, and the fact that they used one of my favorite like Batman Riddler arcs for basically resetting the city in terms of like Gordon becoming like Gordon become commissioner, Bruce and Batman becoming like this bigger figure for Gotham, because Batman throughout this movie he's still hated. Like everybody knows who he is in Batman, but nobody thinks he's the shit. Like it's like I love how like they start the movie out with everybody seeing the bat like signal, but like some running away and some being like, who gives a shit? Like I love that like the Riddler is just like, he
ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, like I love that you saw all the corruption that the Riddler exposed and the way he killed all of his victims. Like
Man.
Like this feels like a bit like a horror movie in that way.
Oh, quite a bit.
And it was a little bit of a horror movie.
It was like the way the Riddler played out his like, just his first kill. First of all, he looked.
They're gonna be based on Scarecrow.
I hope we get a Scarecrow movie before we get a Joker movie. To be honest, I would.
For real.
I would love to see how Matt Reeves utilizes the Scarecrow, just with how he because the Riddler, this feels like a Riddler devoid of like, I know we have Jim Carrey on the screen, and like this just feels like a standalone Riddler. Like all of the Riddler we've seen in comic books throughout the years culminates here with this Riddler to me. So I was just really impressed with Paul Dano. I loved how they utilized just the duality of him with the mask on and him with the mask off.
He was the anti-Batman.
How that reacts to Batman, kind of like that. How him and the Batman kind of are like this same character, and like which is great because a lot of his villains really are basically different notions of Batman's like attitude,
which gives credence to when people say like, if it wasn't for Batman, none of these people would be out here committing all these crimes in masks and
which is not true, because we see that this character, he's angry not because of Batman, but because of a city that failed him. I think that's the great part. The great thing about this.
Well, he did say Batman inspired him.
Well, Batman inspired him to go to save the city, but the city still failed him. Those at the top, the greedy white man that Catwoman refers to.
White man.
He's the one that's actually going after them. Like, and not even just like the mafia, but the dirty cops and prosecutors as well. So like, I love how the Riddler is. Without the Riddler, he's like the linchpin of this entire movie in terms of like how the plot is set, because as the Riddler gives you all these clues, he's telling you what he's gonna do next, and like none of us knew that. Like even I was like, okay, I was trying to keep up with the plot too, being a detective, because that's just what we wanted you to do. Like it just didn't lay everything out in front of you, which is I think that's what Batman movies and Batman comics and like Batman stories should do. Like they shouldn't just give you everything up front. And like you shouldn't just hear Batman asking the obvious questions, but he should be like walking into the iceberg lounge, like being undercover, like hiding in shadows. Like actually, you know, it's not just how him. I mean, the ass beating parts were awesome, but like I think
he did.
The Riddler had this man like flummoxed, like, and not just because he's a bad detective. It was because he was like the Riddler was just matching him. As like they both had the same amount of like terrible technology because you know Bruce is still like because I think that's the other part people forgot about the way like Wayne Enterprises. He's not running the company. He's still grieving. Like that.
You said something in the waves.
Something
in the waves. All right, that's enough. I'm stopping.
No. But just to get to, because I don't want to lose my train of thought with the Riddler so I can finish. I just think that in terms of Batman movies can definitely like turn boring and lose itself when they're trying to like do a million things, which is another problem with the Nolan films because the Two-Face
definitely
stuff,
the problem with the third one.
The Two-Face stuff was a waste of time. Like in this movie, you have like all these. You have Carmine Falcone, you have the Penguin, you have the Riddler, but none of them seem they're not eating over each other. They're not overlapping each other. Each villain plays a part, and the Riddler's part is the biggest. It is not like overshadowed by what he's doing with everything with Batman. So the balance and nuance that you see with the Riddler and all the other bad guys too that we get to. I know my buddy was like John Turturro, excuse me, I almost said Nicholas Turturro, but like John Turturro was undervalued or like was wasted. It was like if you have more of Carmine Falcone, then it turns into just another Nolan film. I think the idea of like this big bad boss you don't see, like that's the whole part of Gotham that like kind of makes Gotham. There's always somebody else pulling strings, and the Riddler's trying to tell like Bruce, like the Gotham you think you know is not the Gotham
the one
that
you know.
This. So like even Catwoman too. So like everybody in this movie is kind of like on a level above Bruce, but not what makes Bruce look like an idiot. It's just that Bruce is discovering that the Gotham he thought he knew isn't what it is because he's been so reclusive. Because he's been so focused on this one idea of vengeance that the Riddler has the same idea of, except the Riddler's actually used his idea of vengeance to really go after the people who really like basically destroyed the city, if we're being honest, because that's the whole like crux of the plot. So it was it was spy versus spy. If you want to like short and sweet it, but like I'm excited for whatever Matt Reeves does next. Like
for sure.
I don't think we need a Riddler that Joker joint next.
Nope.
I like that scene. I definitely pop for it.
Well, Kenny, let me save that part for the end of the show. Thank you for your breakdown of the Riddler.
For your interpretation.
DJ Lokari, what do you got?
Yeah, man. I like this Riddler, man. I wish I would have. I'm gonna find a way to be able to watch that beginning again. Shout outs to the movie actually starting at 5:30 because you know like some
bullshit. We thought we had trailers to buffer.
Like where's the trailers at, bro? You know what I mean? But nah, we not a trailer, not nothing. You know what I mean?
Not a trailer.
Now another trailer. I was like, okay, we got about 15 minutes. Got my food, like whatever, you know. We gonna mess this up, and then we walked in. Was like, we had a moment. We was like, we right, damn. Cause like it was a little bleary. I was like, you know, this looked like this shit a 3D movie. I don't know. So I spent the whole first 5-10 minutes trying to be like, hey man, we sure you got the right shit in here. So I missed the damn intro. But from the Riddler that I did get a chance to see, man, scary as fuck. I'm not gonna lie.
Popping out and beating the man with a tucker.
Come on, dog.
I was beating the shit out of him too.
And I like that, like, you know, like it was the moment where, you know, you have Batman trying to figure out about like of course Batman would not know what a tucker is, right? Like what damn carpenter work has this dude ever done in his entire life? You know?
Yes.
Like, shit. You know what I mean? Just perfect. And I like that there was so many moments like that where you really got a chance to see the difference. And like, you know, that's how he kind of knew that, you know, who he's dealing with here. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I'm purposely targeting you because just to show you how much of a difference between how we grew up versus where you were. So it's like, even after the movie is over, you can still go back and think about so many different ways that, you know, that the Riddler was actually genius in the way that he was like attacking not only Batman but Bruce Wayne, you know?
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, man. I like that we were, you know, playing with these different versions from what we knew of the Joker in other iterations. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was doing that, Bruce Wayne, you know what I'm saying? I thought about when, you know, when Jim Carrey at the end, he was like,
I am Batman.
I am Batman. Losing his shit in the background, bro. This shit was hilarious. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed his character. Lots of layers to it than just being some crazy person. You know what I mean? I mean, that was probably one of the best parts about Batman Forever for me as well too. Is just like I like when he would get the letters and stuff like that. He would have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I mean, I agree with Black Cinema. That he was right. It was by far one of my favorite. I mean, I think all the treatments of the villains in this movie was probably one of my favorite iterations of villains being portrayed in a Batman film. Like, besides, I think maybe the Penguin and the Joker. I mean, of course, for Dark Knight. That's
if it was the Joker, allegedly.
Yeah,
I assume probably.
I mean, well, in that part, yeah, most
Here's the
definitely.
thing. I think it's not the Joker. I think he's Red Hood because right now his hair is still red, which is totally a Red Hood thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I think this is pre-Joker. We're just getting like, which honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing like how he really like grows into being a Joker. I have no problem with that if they go that route. Hopefully in the background of the movie.
Well,
I don't like how they do the Avengers. I'm quiet.
I was about to say, let's
stick to
on track.
But yeah, and also one of the aspects of the Riddler that I really love, like I think still one of my favorite iterations of the Riddler besides this version would be the version of him in the animated series. It's like two really great episodes with the Riddler. I mean, when they did the remake of it, they didn't really use the Riddler at all, but I love the first two introductions of the Riddler in the animated series, where he was just also like, they really showed you that he was a true genius. You know what I'm saying? And like the Minotaur shit, like that was one of my favorite episodes.
That was a great episode with the Hand of Fate.
Yeah, man. Like they did a good job of like, you know, I feel like bringing in all of, you know, these different aspects of this character into like this really creepy ass version of him. You know what I mean? Nikki had a question. Says that's
not a question.
Oh, what was this? It looked like it was a question. I was looking. It was long shit. So I was about to see what it says. It was kind of content.
A poor person wouldn't know that rich people don't open their mail. A poor person knows that a rich person doesn't know what a tucker is.
It's true, man, because you're just like, you think about it though, because you think about it, like the cops are always the ones that got it. You know what I mean? It's like, let me put this on this victim so you can see this note, and then we know you're gonna come out. You know what I mean? So there's so many different great iterations.
She did bring out the one, and not to get too far off of the Riddler, that was the one plot hole in the movie for me, is the cops didn't seem interested in interviewing Bruce Wayne, whose butler just got blown up by the Riddler.
Well, I think that's because the third act moved so, like, after the bombing went up, and that they literally still were doing the thing where they were trying to go after Falcone.
Yeah.
So I feel like...
But it still leaves that hole. Like, I can understand why, but it still leaves that hole as like, well, why didn't this happen?
I just think
that get filled in, but it's still a hole.
I think that's a scene you just can make it as an extra, to be honest. I feel like that might be something you get on the DVD, because... For sure.
On April 19th, apparently.
Yeah, dang, that's real soon, and I'm gonna stream the shit out of it once it comes out. I am most definitely glad that I did get a chance to see this in theaters, because honestly, like, once, you know, and I encourage more people too, like, you know, a lot of folks are on the fence about whether or not, well, should I just wait till it come out, blah, blah, blah. This is most definitely one of those Art Deco films that I'm just like, bro, if you get an opportunity to watch this, like, live, I think it's personally worth your time, just for how like gorgeous Cinematography wise, this film looks so.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, go get the.
Did you have any more Riddler thoughts though?
I think that's about it for right now. Like, I was very much. Yeah. The last thing I will say about the Riddler is I really at the end when we finally got a chance to see who it was, like without the mask, he was just as fucking scary. That little 20 something.
Didn't know he was the Riddler.
Yo,
like, if you just saw him somewhere, you'd be like, that guy with glasses is weird. But
yeah, man, that little 20 something looking ass dude was more frightening than that mask, bro. I'm gonna let you know. Like when he had his face.
Yes.
You know, on that way. He had that face to the side on some.
Yes, I know exactly.
That was scary to me, man.
That face that said it's all playing out.
Oh man, that was. Yeah, you know what I mean. I put him all the way in Arkham. He need to be in Arkham. He was all fucked up when he realized that was. You're crazy. You're deranged. How dare you? We were supposed to live here together. Like, what was his plan? What did he really think him and Batman was gonna do together, bro? He was like, "It's gonna be me and you in this crib together forever."
Batman's Paul Bear. He was like,
Exalt you. Well, that takes us to the next character that I want to talk about.
Oh man.
Who also tried to team up with Batman, because again, I think they all were different faces of the same idea. What are your thoughts on Catwoman? DJ Lokari.
Come back to me because I'm trying to get a new image up. But do Kenny first.
Kenny, what did you think?
Top tier Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz, she was also Catwoman in Lego Batman, which was also.
I know that.
I forgot that.
Also, Kenny, you're a little quiet.
Huh?
You're a little hard to hear.
Oh, am I a little better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I thought she did a really good job. I love she definitely was a lot more like the Frank Miller style, where like she definitely started that line of being a villain, but also a lot of what she was doing was just to like self-preservation. Like it wasn't for anything much more than that, and like protecting the people that she cares about. I love that, and I also love the little extra hook between her and Carmine Falcone, which that was I thought that was a really good like utilization of both of those characters, and that it's something different.
Let me ask you, because in Batman: The Long Halloween, the animated movie, they also made Carmine Falcone, except they played more into it there, where they revealed that Carmine Falcone was Catwoman's father. Did they do that in the comic book?
No, because actually I've recently read The Long Halloween, and that story's a lot more about not just Carmine Falcone, but all the crime families. Because I haven't seen the cartoon movie, but I'm sure it's probably not as detailed, and it's like because are there two parts to that movie actually?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe they do. Because I'll check them out. Are they on HBO Max? Oh, good. All right, I might check those out later this evening or tomorrow. But I thought that just in terms of like Catwoman's ability to be different people, like just you know, blending the way she always blended in, like you see that she's far superior to Batman and being stealth.
Oh yeah,
being sneaky.
Batman has one disguise. She has
she has many. Even when you think you know the disguise, he still got you like fucked up. So it's just for Catwoman, it's just perfect, to be honest. I can really think of nothing that was wrong about Zoe Kravitz. She was beautiful. I loved how her nails actually like kind of came through her gloves. Like the fact that like she was scratching faces, like clipping on prisoners, like that her and Batman also just kind of like challenging each other about what it means to once again be like a part of Gotham City, and like what it means to be a part of the city, and what it means to just like live there and like with the people. So yeah, I love that they left it open-ended. Like it wasn't over the top Catwoman and Batman stuff.
Nobody got their face licked slowly in profile.
Yeah. Which is fine. That's totally
They almost smashed though a couple times.
I mean, that's the thing.
Elgin made a joke in the theater like, I've got a boner in my suit. I gotta make room for it.
Oh, gotta make room.
Saying like always saying the what if, the maybe, as opposed to just straight up making out and smashing. Like, let's actually work up to that ability to like, okay, they have this relationship in this like, because they have a mutual respect by the end too. Like, it's just like people who are badasses at what they do. Like, I love that about them as well. So Zoe Kravitz questions Catwoman, and I hope she comes back for as many movies as she wants as her.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, she did say she was going up to Bloodhaven. I know there's no Nightwing yet, but maybe that'll.
But the fact that she's doing the fact that you even reference Bloodhaven, awesome. Like, stuff like that is incredible, and that's just like, Catwoman has her own story to tell. Like, he's not just connected to the hip to Batman. I think Matt Reeves did a great idea of storytelling with all of the characters. Like, just because Batman is here doesn't mean that like they all are just here to support him. Like, they all have motivations to help Batman because they also want to like protect the city. So Catwoman did an amazing job of that.
For sure. My Catwoman points are: one, she wasn't afraid of heights because she jumped right off of that building.
Yes, she was
like, "Wow, you're not gonna let me kill him? Fuck y'all!" Bam, and then jumped off. And she, the other two people in masks, I think it's funny that both of them figured Batman out to a point. Because there was that scene where she was like, I don't know who the fuck you are under there, but you must be rich.
Yes.
Because you didn't see this, and this.
Yep.
Yeah. So, DJ Lokari, you still looking for a proper picture?
I got a decent one for now. I'm going to let it go.
What are your thoughts on the character of Catwoman?
Yeah, man. You know,
you pointed out that part of her origin in another iteration was that she was trying to protect one of her friends.
Yeah, they did a really great Batman short, and I think it was for Under the Red Hood, where they had it as, you know, as in Catwoman that was part of our origin story, is that she had a best friend who she kind of protects her, and she was a stripper at the time too, you know what I mean? So it was like, and they really did a good job of adapting both of those characters for this iteration of Catwoman, man. Also, just Zoe Kravitz, like, facial wise, was kind of like also perfect for the character too. Like, even like I'm talking about like even the version. I feel like.
No, she definitely resembles like a comic book version of Catwoman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Catwoman nowadays, like, especially in the comic books, she's kind of ambiguous as far as like her race. You know what I mean? So I felt like Zoe Kravitz was like got a really great version of that. You know what I mean? Like, you can most definitely. She fits within all the modes and whatnot. I feel like she's a great amalgamation of all the versions of Catwoman we've seen. You know what I'm saying? So it's really well done, man. Like, I dug it. I dug it heavy, actually. I love the relationships between, like, there's just like this natural connection that she has with Batman, which I feel like they really did a really great job of bridging those two together. She also played a very good femme fatale. You know what I'm saying? When you think about like the film noirness of this, like in a detective story, like what we are accustomed to seeing, like this character play out. I think they did a good job with that. Sometimes like the love scenes or whatever felt like they came out of nowhere. Like, I'm not gonna even lie about that, but as like sometimes when they would just be like, was like that tension, like the first time, but then like, I don't know, dog. Like when the old boy was about to die, like, is this the time to be trying to make out, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, like right before he shot himself in the leg and stuff, he's like, "Oh my God, I just saved you. Let's make out right here." I was like, the city is drowning, girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's drowning. You know what I mean? This may not be the time be trying to make out right now. You know what I'm saying? But it did give your boy a little motivation to get his ass up when, Also, like, I like that she's. I have mixed feelings about her being kind of like green when it comes to the fighting, though. Sometimes, like,
she worked a lot of ass.
She did, but then we talking about Falcone, like, and whatnot. And I know that was her dad or whatever, but real talk, like, I thought, you know, she should have been able to beat his ass without no problem. You know what I mean? Like,
she did try to shoot him first, which, and I feel like, and this is to your point. A lot of people look at like movies and guns being shot. Guns have this thing called recoil.
Yeah.
You point a gun and shoot, it might move in a way where you don't hit that target that's across the room. So
right.
she missed. But remember, she beat the shit out of his guards.
Yeah,
yeah, she did. I was like,
Falcone, I think John Turturro looks like he probably won't be able to fight, but I think his character's supposed to be like one who, just because you don't see him fight, don't mean he can't throw hands. I think this is that instance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can understand why you would say that, but like Catwoman beat everybody else's ass. It's just like you can't beat everybody.
Yeah, like you having
She always
problems with
attack
Falcone?
low first, which is the thing. That's what you do in Street Fighter.
Baby moves, baby.
Shut up. No, that's an inside joke.
Talk about,
come on, bro.
DJ Lokari beating me twice in Street Fighter 3.
Nah, don't do that. Nah, don't do that.
You beat me twice. You got me 2 times.
Whatever, now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Look now. Look. You sneaky bastard. But it's fine. It's fine. You know? It's fine. When I got my ass whooped, might be my ass in Street Fighter. And for those of y'all that know me, that's not an easy feat. So I'm going to ask. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I mean? He beat my ass at Street Fighter.
All you need is fear stick, kids.
Excuse me. Moving back on to Catwoman, I thought she should have been able to beat that ass a little bit quicker. You know, when it comes to some other characters, that's just my opinion. I feel like she should have been able to beat somebody's ass a little faster. But we can also just say that, like, you know, emotionally, she probably, you know, it's a lot psychologically. You know what I mean? Like, she also did just find out. Spoilers that, you know, Falcone also did kill her. Like, he did a good job at putting the psychological thing in there, you know what I'm saying? Which is something that a lot of abusers use, you know what I'm saying? So, like, psychologically, it was really well done. And, like, this, yeah, man, like, all the scenes, I felt like she was the driving force of character arc in this film. Out of all the different characters, I felt like she had the most development. Yeah.
She did go through a lot. It was definitely
she went through a lot.
Story happening with her and Bruce Wayne.
Oh, dude, her and the Riddler, man. Like, you got a whole... Like, that was in my Matt Reeves. He sneakily put 2 origin stories of 2, like, minor characters. Not minor characters, but, like, 2 bigger characters of Batman and not make it be Batman. Like, I thought that was impressive. Like,
well, remember, the Penguin also went from number 2 to number 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they accomplished a lot
world
of goals.
building like we haven't seen maybe in a superhero movie.
100%. 100%.
They did in one movie what it takes Marvel like 3 movies to do.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, with the length, it's like, just sit back and enjoy. You know what I mean? This is just let it happen. You know what I mean? Like, don't come in there with too many expectations. Like, oh, I need it. Nah, man. If you like mysteries and you like detective stories, and you know, you're gonna get that. You know, if you're not a fan of that kind of stuff, then you probably not gonna like this movie, because that's what it is. I had read a comment online where it was like, man, it was kind of long, and you know what I'm saying, and you know,
every superhero movie now.
They're like, hold on. So it's like, not only that, it was kind of long, and also, you know, it ain't that. I mean, all the fight scenes they showed you was kind of in the trailers. And then he was like, but I did go at 9 o'clock. I was like, you went to go watch a 3-hour movie at 9 o'clock at night. That's probably why you didn't like it.
Yeah,
like,
just that's true. Like, not like every other Marvel movie, and hell, every other like
2.5, 3 hours long.
Like, look, we live
2.5, 3 hours long. Like, come on now.
We
live in a world right now where we have like literal TV shows that are like 7, 8. Like, let's just be real. These TV shows are just long ass movies.
For sure.
Because they're on the same. The quality is damn near the same.
At once. It's not like you're waiting for TV shows all the time.
Yeah, so like with the length of this movie and whatnot, we actually got a chance to see a full character arc happen, and it felt like the whole film. Like, I like that we live in this world right now where we can literally.
After you say that, I want to try to put the train back on the track, because I feel like
I was getting back to it.
Turn it around, bringing it back.
Yeah, man, but it's like, but I like being able to see a full-fledged story where we got a chance to really see this character, as in Catwoman, grow. You know what I'm saying, over time, and like, you know, she was. I mean, that like that scene where she kicked old boy off off the roof.
Yeah.
True to Catwoman. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, she gon' because she's not a hero, bro. She's most definitely an anti-hero. You know what I mean? She's a hero to some, but to a lot of other people, it's like, yo, that shit that you're doing is against the law. You still stealing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're still stealing.
He
Like,
definitely picked up that bag of money, and we're like, all right.
like, Batman's like, damn, man, I feel you, girl. You fine as shit, and you know, but you know, damn, like. And she at the end like, come on, man, we can go steal some shit together. You don't want to go steal some shit together? Come on now. And he's like, no, bro. Like, did you hear? This, you know, this is not what I'm doing today. This is not what's hot in the streets. I'm sorry. You know, I know you fine.
We can say I'm vengeance.
You know,
you think I'm just gonna give that up?
Shit, you know, we can smash on the side, we can hang out, but you know, part of this other stuff, no. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go start stealing shit with you. I should put your ass in jail, for real. but hey, I feel you. She was a great character though.
He really did let it slide that she stole that money. I love that part.
Yeah, he's like, man. Well, technically, I tried to catch her, bruh. I tried to catch her. She's too fast. She's just too fast. Did you see how fast she was going?
I had to make a decision. I went after the penguin.
Batman, stop lying. You was looking at that ass and you decided to keep on rolling. That's what really happened. Be honest. Stop. But did you see how good she walks away? No, I was like,
yeah, I did.
I did. What happened? Yeah, what's her name?
So the last, to wrap it all together for the last,
wait till Talia show up or some shit. It's gonna be a damn mess.
It definitely is. The rest of the characters, just throw out who you enjoyed seeing. I think the Penguin stole the show better than anybody. One, during the chase, you have to be a committed individual to drive the wrong way in traffic on the freeway.
My G.
He definitely expressed with his face how horrifying it is that he pulled that off, and then he turned around and Batman's still chasing him. When whatever explosion happened, however many people died in that explosion, and he sees this Batmobile come shooting through the flames, at that point he's like, you know what, I don't think I can do this. I think Colin Farrell did a good job.
Yes,
I got you, you son of a bitch. And it's like, and then he gives him that
leave me alone, bro. I'm done.
That I felt like was needed in the movie because it's not like nothing funny happened, but that part was like the Penguin yelling at him like "El la, habla español."
Every time the Penguin was on screen, he was that breath of like this levity, like
yeah.
As like crazy as the movie is, as like Saw-like as it is, it's like the Penguins that are also like keep that balance between like it being a crime story,
for sure,
but also being like at times Batman is still a silly movie, like silly. His whole idea is silly, and the Penguin addresses him like as some like ridiculous. He calls it like he calls him Vengeance, like as a nickname. It's just like,
hey, what's up, Vengeance?
Yo, what up, Vengeance?
Like, you know that shit whack, right? That's what you're talking about. You know that shit whack, right?
You're a strange person. You know that. A lot of people believe in a lot of shit. They don't put on mascot costumes. You're weird.
That's a stupid ass name, but that's fine.
That's fine.
He's like, it's cool though. Look at my nose. We good. We homies. We can be homies. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that Commissioner Gordon did a good job. I watched an interview where Jeffrey Wright said part of his character was being a fan of Batman. And you could tell that. Like the scene where he walks up to him and he's like, you may want to try to take the roof out of here.
I was like, damn, bro.
Making it look like they were talking shit to each other.
Punched the shit out of him too.
And then when they met at their meeting spot, he was like, "Man, you could have pulled that punch." And he was like, "I did."
Nah, but for real though, he really did though. Like,
he still punched the shit out of him. Like he flew backward.
Yeah, man, he gonna cry when you get the cop.
That's true. That's true. I liked Alfred's ability to cipher and him being like an old, a voice of wisdom in Batman, but I felt like he didn't do a whole lot. Like after he
Well, he got his ass beat, man.
Well, he got blown up. Like,
he blew his ass up, man.
Yeah,
which
like,
was,
that's
I
the
mean,
idea of Alfred, like he should, like I think the Nolan movies particularly did too much with Alfred.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was Michael Caine, and it was.
Yeah, you gonna utilize some Michael Caine if you got.
Because he paid for it, I get it, but I think even like the spirit of what Alfred is what you saw with Matt Reeves. He's like he's there, he's supportive, he's compassionate. He also still has his reservations about Bruce doing this, but that's his son. Like he like.
No, Kenny, he's not his real dad, Kenny.
You're not my real dad.
You're not my dad.
You're not my real dad.
You're not my dad.
I just imagine like the Batman Begins voice with that. You're not my real dad for Alfred.
You're not my real dad.
You're not my real dad.
Romance playing in the background. You're not my dad.
Like, dang, dog. He's like, I'll whoop your ass like you was my kid. Shit.
Batman
so
probably
I'll teach
beat
you how to
Alfred
fight.
if he had to. I do like that they brought it back to Alfred's respect of Thomas and Martha Wayne, and that's
that was
one
cool.
of the reasons why he was like, I loved your parents. I really respected your dad, so that's why I promised them that I would take care of you.
Spoken like a true baby daddy. You know what I'm saying?
That's spoken like a stepdaddy. He was like,
yes, that's true stepdaddy. Hey man, I liked your mama and your daddy. You know what I'm saying? But if it wasn't for them, boy, I swear, boy. Because I felt like Alfred had a couple of moments like, if I ain't like your mom and daddy, bro, this should be on,
you're my
bro.
real dad.
Like, that leads back to Batman being like this young, inexperienced, still like finding himself. Like he's still an asshole to people because he's still grieving.
Yeah.
Like, there's still this sadness in him.
When you pay your dad,
man.
He's not just his father figure; he's his employee. So it's got to be a tough go for Alfred. And the last character, I believe Kenny started talking about him was Carmine Falcone. Maybe underutilized. I feel like maybe somewhere on the editing room floor, there's a scene where he doesn't get shot, and he just because when his face got scratched, I was like, oh. One, I remember seeing a comic book panel with Carmine Falcone with scars on his face like that. So I was like, oh, well, he's going to get arrested and he's going to have those scars. But when he got shot immediately after, I was like, oh, weird. I guess they're not going to do anything with those scars. I feel like Turturro did what he was supposed to do.
He understood
I've never met a mob boss. I don't know what they act like. He wasn't really intimidating other than the fact that everybody listened to him.
I think that's the most charming part about him, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, in all honesty, it's like, for people like that, like, that's how, because again, it's like, this dude runs Gotham City. Yeah. Period.
The whole thing has for 20 years.
And I mean, like, people, think that it's probably this dude that's in charge, but he has found he is, I think, he's a prototype for what Bruce Wayne needs to become as a good version. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like somebody who has all this power, who seems to be like just a pretty, well-connected cat, and then behind the scenes is like the most evil motherfucker you would ever meet in your entire life.
He definitely did choke a woman out and not sound any more like, you didn't hear him get angry. He was like, all right, calm down, hold on, like as he's choking her to death.
It's like, oh yeah, no
relax,
deal.
Relax.
Just I'm just killing you, no big deal. Fuck you mean? What you crying about? It's just death. It's death. I do this every day. Your mama made me do this, no big deal.
That was a fucked up thing to say to somebody.
That was such a fucked up thing to say to somebody. My God.
You're making me do this just like your mom. It's like, well, that's where you done fucked up, sir.
Yeah, I think at the end I was like, yeah, this dude needed to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need another movie with him. The only person that the Penguin actually got, I got you. Was Falcone. He actually got Falcone for real.
Well, no, he wasn't saying that. He was saying I didn't shoot. Because remember, the Riddler shot him. Because the Riddler actually.
Yeah. There we go.
But also too, Mike, I think Matt Reeves does a good job of like showing. I mean, not showing, but telling. Like, you hear the phone call. You see how everybody is afraid of him.
Also, Gotham News is fucked up.
Yeah, it is, man.
I don't play that shit on the news. Jeez.
Yeah, right.
God. Oh, this might be a little disturbing.
The most consistent thing about all the Batman movies through like from the start to right now is how fucked up the Gotham News is.
Like they have to like, oh, Kenny, they have to do before they do any announcement. Kenny, they gonna be like,
Warning: the following video contains strong language which may be offensive.
but like every news story is like that. You know what I mean? Like every news
be disturbing. Here's a man about to have his face chewed off by rats.
Like what the fuck, bro? I'm just about to eat breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, you're not.
I was like, before bacon? You know what I'm saying? Y'all gang banging on bacon?
Next to my salad. You're gonna
Like, my God, man.
salad.
It's like today on GCP News, this motherfucker, this clown motherfucker be killing people, you know, every day.
Right here.
Fear gas, you know, like God damn. My God. Look at me.
I think Carmine Falcone and we got sidetracked.
I think we're all just kind of like going in on Falcone.
I was just saying to address what you were saying about Carmine Falcone, because I mostly agree with you, Mike. I do think that there wasn't a lot.
Can you sit a little closer to your computer?
Oh, sorry. I do think that there wasn't enough of them, but that I appreciate that because that's part of the problem that I have with some of the Batman movies, including the ones I like, is that like you give too many villains, you put too many villains in like a movie, and then there's no way to really give them all justice.
Yeah.
That Reeves kind of crafted a story that did enough to like really tell a well-crafted story about corruption in this city and how far down it goes. Because like Falcone's talked about a lot. Like when we don't see him, his name is synonymous throughout like the whole 3 hours of the movie until he actually really shows up. So I think that I wish more like writers and storytellers would utilize that aspect of like not necessarily showing us. Telling us, like, you know, putting over here, banging it over the head. I thought with Carmine, it was just like, the Penguin is the face man, but there's still somebody at the top because, like, the Catwoman references to like the club within the club. She's referencing the fact that Penguin only runs the club, not the club within the club. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, you got a whole scene where like you just hear his voice and how freaked out Catwoman gets when she sees him. What's like down there? So, like, I think there's a power in giving somebody a mystique that never really was shown until like that third act or like that second act.
For sure.
Also, can I just mention too, just like the fact that and something that I hate that almost every Batman film has done, which had killed the main villain, villains. Yeah. That shit pisses me off, right?
I mean, Marvel does it too, and I don't
like. That's what I'm saying. I don't like it either.
One-time use villains.
Yeah, man. And the only villain that dies is the one that's not even in the trailer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the mystique of like, what's the cat who plays Falcone? What's his name again?
John Turturro.
Yeah, that's the cool.
No one fucks with him.
Yeah. That's the mystique of like how good of an actor he is and how he picks his roles over time. Because it was like once you saw him in there, he's like he's a villain. Because like, he's one of those cats is like he always plays a dirtbag in every film that he's in. So you didn't even really need to like get a full backstory or anything like that in order for you to know. Oh no, he's if it's that dude, he's an ass.
But then the Jesus was also a dirtbag. Remember why he got arrested?
He was an ass.
And then they tried to give him a TV show. That didn't seem like it.
That didn't seem like the best.
No.
You don't give the Jesus a TV.
No. So yeah, great character though. I thought it was
it's a movie full of great characters. To wrap up the character conversation, anybody who for some reason is watching this and hasn't seen the movie, sorry, we spoiled just about everything for you. But a movie full of great characters. Jeffrey Wright does a great job. Paul Dano does a great job. I almost said Lisa Bonet. Zoe Kravitz does a great job.
Came from Lisa Bonet,
daughter of Denise Huxtable. Yeah, everybody does a fantastic job in this movie, including Robert Pattinson, who I can be counted among the people that were like, "Are you sure that's what you want to do?" He did a very good job.
Amazing.
So let's move on to noteworthy scenes from the movie before we wrap all this up. I think the very first action scene really set the tone. It was more realistic than I expected it to be. Where Batman beats up the guys in clown makeup.
Yeah.
And then after he's done beating all those people up, the guy on the ground's like, please don't hurt me. Because if you're actually waiting for the green light,
bruh,
some guy beats up a gang, and it really showed how fucked up Gotham City is.
Yes.
Because it's like, you don't think like, oh, you saved me. You think like, man, listen, I don't have any money. Like, please don't hurt me.
I can't say, like, you know, I can't pay for this, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Listen,
I'm broke as shit.
Please, just don't hurt me. The scene where he's fighting in the Iceberg Lounge, and there's a guy pointing the gun at him, and he's holding the bat. And there's like a beat where he's looking at the guy, and then just pops him in the face with the bat, and gets shot. He hit him with that bat.
I genuinely laughed at that shit. I'm sorry.
Like that motherfucker, something that was fixed
laughed.
in his face got knocked loose with that part, because he held it by the wrong end and went wow as hard as he could. The scene where the Riddler basically wins, as he's in a window in the asylum singing. That was pretty good.
Oh my god!
I also really like the song Ave Maria. So
oh my god! I forgot about that.
Yeah, he was just in the window like. As who knows how many people died in that shit.
Oh my god.
The last fight I thought was good, but if you're gonna break all the windows at the top of Gotham Square Garden, that glass is gonna fall down, Batman.
Yeah.
They're trying to live. Giant flanks of glass are falling, and who knows who got cut in that. That scene was interesting because one, he injects himself with something to wake himself
Adrenaline.
up.
It was adrenaline.
But it was green, so I think the reason they made it green, I don't know. I assume adrenaline is red because it's in blood. I think at least that was an Easter egg to Venom. Like he shoots himself up with this stuff, and all of a sudden gets all riled up and damn near beats a man to death.
And I think that was a good enough tease to like get you into like, okay, so if we see somebody that gets like, if that little bit of dose did that to him, like imagine what it would do it to like someone going extreme.
A luchador,
right? Perhaps a luchador,
a real smart luchador.
I would not mind seeing, like, especially with the way that Matt Reeves is doing this like psychological version of Batman. I would not mind seeing, you know, Bane go up against this version.
It would have to be. Wait a minute. The actor would have to be.
They said Dave. People are talking Dave Bautista.
Oh, Dave Bautista's Bane. Awesome.
Maybe. I mean, he definitely's got the look.
Give me what I want.
But what I'm hearing in my voice, or the voice I'm hearing in my head, who is the main villain in Old Country for Old Men? No Country for Old Men.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, that's who I hear saying it.
Yeah. Well, Javier Bardem as a villain in any like.
He's a scary man.
No,
he can be pretty scary.
007 movie he was in.
Where his face was all fucked up?
No, he was in Peace. The only reason I really enjoyed that movie was because of him.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the scenes that I liked. Also, the chase scene, Batman chase scenes are going to be good.
The chase scene was very good.
The Batmobile, something good's gonna happen.
Yes.
But so many people died or lost their car. Like, a whole ass truck blew up. That guy didn't live.
Nah.
People did not give a fuck on that highway.
Clearly. But yeah, those are my scenes. Kenny, what you got?
I'll go in the opposite direction because I really enjoyed all the things you mentioned, but I loved all the dark shit, the Riddler, like his first kill.
That was genuine, like that was horror movie shit. You're walking around in your house, minding your own business, your family's out trick-or-treating, and then this man beats you to death with a sharp metal object.
I mean, even the way he was just hiding behind in the backseat of that car of the DA.
Yeah.
And then, like, I thoroughly, like, the guy who played the really scared DA had me, like, I probably shouldn't be laughing so much, but, like, the Riddler had that man, like, heated scared, like legitimately freaked out with the whole moment in the scene in the church with him.
Peter
like,
Sarsgaard. He's been in a few things. He's a good actor.
The way that scene with the cell phone and trying to answer the questions and this.
Oh yeah, he was pissed off, man. I mean,
yes, the tense scenes going on where it. I remember us making fun of that trailer where like Bruce is saving the little kid and jumping out of the way, but it makes more sense because when you see the whole scene, it's like, okay, it's not just about the van, it's about the fact that it could be like explosive. So he really was trying to save the kid. So I will go back and say, okay, I need to stop being such an asshole all the time with my trailers. But I thought it was funny. But once you see it in the full movie, it's like, oh shit, this is a real tense moment. And it's actually really fucking good. That was one of
that scene played out well too, because you can hear the car in the background, like you hear it screaming, and then you hear, and then the car.
Here's the thing, and just the different angles, like you get shots of Bruce, you get shots of the Riddler from where he's kind of hiding in the church. You get shots.
Who must not be wearing a mask at that point.
Yeah, or even just like. Honestly, I think they did a good job of just like Paul Dano probably wasn't in a mask. He was still because nobody actually ever saw his face or knew what he even looked like besides his eyes. He was probably there unmasked and just there with his like followers, which was incredible.
He did have followers. We didn't mention his
trying to like keep things like under like control in that scene as well. Like so many moments happen, and even in the moment between Falcone, you actually meet Falcone and Bruce have that conversation. Like that entire church scene from start to finish was like one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It's just like because you got the shit with the Riddler and how creepy he was with like his terrorist plan. You see Bruce still trying to like also get over his parents and like see that little kid
very
like,
sullen looking.
Something traumatic look, but also still trying to be Batman at the same time. You see that duality once again of him struggling to really like figure out who he is while he's trying to detect. So, and then I would say the scenes with the Penguin, whenever there was interaction with like Batman and Penguin, or the fight scene with Batman and Penguin where he's just yelling, where he's literally just making fun of his name, calling him Vengeance, while he's just like gunning him down. Like Batman's just straight knocked the fuck out. And here's the Penguin saying, "Come on, Vengeance, where you at?" It's so good. Like it's just a fun way to see the Penguin just be a badass. But also seeing Batman also flawed. I think that's what I appreciate the most. Is like a lot of scenes where Batman he's doing his best. He's just doing his best.
He's trying so hard.
So hard. But he's still fucking up. And it's not because it's his fault. It's because he's still young in the game. A lot of people around him are just either that much street smarter than him because he's still Bruce Wayne, or he's dealing with a Riddler who's just that much more like motivated to him to do fucked up shit. So like,
which still has a lot to do with the fact that he's Bruce Wayne and the Riddler is. I want to mention real quick within this, the fact that his name wasn't Edward Nygma threw me off. It was Edward N, and I was like, oh.
Because it looks like they're trying to connect Edward N to Hush, whose character is Edward something. So I think there's supposed to be some weird connection there, which is why they didn't do the Enigma, which was kind of a bummer. That was the one that was like, come on.
Yeah, but the fact that the Riddler is more motivated because the Riddler isn't rich. The Riddler has that pain of poverty and all those like bad memories driving him, where Bruce has one bad memory.
Yes. So honestly, all the scenes that you mentioned and that I just brought up, it's just like that. It truly never felt like 3 hours, and we know what a 3-hour movie looks like when it's not good.
I saw Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, right. It was all Superman comic book movie. Like I wasn't gonna say it, I'll leave it alone.
It felt long. I remember being like, "Damn, I'm still here, aren't I?"
Yeah, like
man. I can't even defend that one, man. That movie felt long. Like I ain't gonna lie to you.
Just was fun and felt like you flowed freely, beginning to end.
It flewed.
It did. Also, the fact that the Riddler like drowned Gotham, I just love that. That was one of my favorite like comic book.
That's a good way to end the movie. It's like, now you got to clean this up.
Now you got to clean shit up.
See you next time.
Everything ends happily with that. Yeah, that's true to the
and it shouldn't. It's that Mask of the Double Toaster talked about Mask of the Phantasm and how in the end what we didn't get as kids is Batman thought he was going to be able to hang it up. Batman thought, like, you know what? I found somebody. I'm in love. I feel like I don't have to be Batman anymore. And then by the end of the movie, he flies off in what seems triumphant, but it's like, goddamn, I got to be Batman because I don't have a life outside of this. I can't make a life outside of this.
Oh, you thought you was going to Denny's after this was happening?
That lady you fell in love with? The killer the whole time.
Yeah, bro, you tripping. Nah, bro.
Let your guard down, and now you fucked up. So Batman, Bruce Wayne is worse off at the end of that movie. But this one, you see Batman becoming more of a hero in the eyes of Gotham, and not just some goofy-looking guy beating people up on the street.
Yeah.
I mean, he does beat up a lot of people on the street, though.
He definitely does, and he's kind of goofy.
For Black Dynamite, I beat up people on the street.
For Black Dynamite, I beat ass in this community. DJ Lokari, what scenes stuck out to you?
Man,
or what angles of scenes that we've already mentioned?
Yeah, I can just kind of like continue to. Well, one of my favorite scenes by far was Batman getting out of the damn, getting out of the police station. That was one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, like it's like
you can tell it wasn't like tough Batman shit. Like I'm sure in his head he was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah, like not for real, like shit. Like by far it was like, and then the fact he was like, okay, shit. Also, can I just point out that I feel like this is one of the first Batman movies where they really utilize the grappling hook.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had, like, I mean,
my brother said that. You know what, Elgin? My brother said the same thing too.
Yeah. Keaton used it a few times, but it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we haven't had grappling hook action since Keaton, but of course, Keaton will use it just to hit niggas with shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll like straight grab the grappling hook and knock somebody out with it. But I'm talking about
what's the name? Batfleck used it to grab a crate and kill a guy.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, like to actually use it to like climb or fly through some stuff like that is really dope for me. Like I was just really enjoying that, like just seeing how many scenes.
Even though he did that, he was still scared of heights.
Yeah.
It's not like he's immune to it, you know.
Yep.
Because I mean, there was no ninja training even in the older versions or whatever that showed. Okay, now we're gonna be all up on heights and whatnot. Like it wasn't a whole lot of that. You just ain't nothing really prepare you for that. You gotta just
skyscrapers. That wasn't in the ninja training.
Nah. Yeah, man. So
skyscrapers in Tibet.
Yeah, that whole, you know what I'm saying, like flying down, having to use like
that was fun.
The wings. Because like the whole time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the whole time I was like, if he doesn't hit, if he's a building, he's dead, bro. Like, I don't care how tough your armor is, you are dead, son. And like I felt it, like you watching and you feel like, yeah, man. They
show him zoom past that window, and they make it look
crazy. Yeah,
they make it look good in the trailer.
Oh yeah, they do.
He's like, oh god, no.
Nah, bro. That scene, like, if you didn't know, man, that scene is terrifying. Like, he actually looked like he was about to die. All the scenes in the club, literally every scene in the club of the Iceberg Lounge, like from the 3 different iterations of him going back, to just being like, I loved when they did it in the Nolan film, and I enjoyed it even more when they did it in this one. Like, I was just like, he would be there.
It felt like being it felt like an appreciation and an homage to all the Blade movies they had to see.
Yes.
I got that vibe from it, and I loved it. Like, I think that's why I appreciated it too, Elgin. I was like, yo, these feel like familiar, but not like in like a retreaded way. Like, oh, by the way, you know, Blade did it too, and it was just as cool. Like, this would be cool as well. And it was like, it was cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Also the interrogation scene, I think was, man, it was a lot of really good stuff that I enjoyed. The interrogation scene was really dope. I like as in him interrogating the Riddler. That was one of my favorite scenes. The scene where they first lift the Riddler's head off of that countertop, that was so intimidating. And just for real, like I was like, bro. And then I think when they did the scene where they discovered what the Riddler's real plan was, like that scene in particular, like everything from the start to him, from the silent moments to them finally like realizing like what it actually was, those are really great scenes. In a low key scene that we didn't even talk about, that scene when they went into the abandoned Arkham, was it the Arkham Asylum or like some What was that?
I think it was the orphanage.
Yeah, the orphanage. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, the orphanage.
Yeah, when they went into the orphanage, that was a really good scene too.
Yeah, when he did the Batman thing.
Yeah,
Gordon was in the middle of talking. He turned around like.
Yeah, he kept detecting. He figured out he had to go to the orphanage.
Yeah. That was a great scene. Yeah, man. And they're showing it a little bit in this part of the trailer, but like that first time Batman shows up on the scene of the crime scene, the first time he shows up, and then like the mystique, and the mystique of like, who is this? And he was tall too. I didn't realize like how tall Robert Pattinson is.
He was taller than everybody.
Yeah, man. When he like towers in there, and everybody's like, intimidated as fuck. Like, what the fuck is this dude doing here? But also being like, wow, like, but he's not saying much. We as the audience know what he's saying, but like, if you were, but I can understand why anyone else would be like, what is this weird ass dude doing there? He ain't saying nothing. He just standing there touching shit. Like, what?
I would feel
what is
real
going
strange
on?
about it. Like,
I would,
why he keep touching stuff? Nah, B.
Yeah, bro. It's a crime scene, bro. Like, what are you doing here, man? Like,
yo, Martinez was not with the shit. He was like, yo, why is he here?
Right. I mean,
evidence. He's wearing gloves. I don't know.
I probably would have been that dude too, being like, "Bro, do you have a pass? Like, what do you?"
Like the one forensic photographer saw him stare at something, and she was like, "Oh shit, let me get that too."
Right, exactly. She's like, "You need to be watching what he's looking at," you know.
It must be important.
But it's also, and then like, but again, like the further that the story goes on, you're like, "Yo," but the reason he ain't saying a lot is because he only trusts Gordon. Because he thinks the rest of these cops are crooked. You know what I mean? So why would I give you all of my information right now and what I'm finding? I'm just being quiet and telling you what I see. So like, but again, a story like this they did a good job of balancing out the time, because by the end you understand all the motivations. Everything seems to make sense. You know what I mean? Like why he acts the way he does, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And and also why he's so damn horny. You know what I'm saying? Living in a cave with his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, who ain't even his real father? You know what I'm saying? You know, all right, I'm gonna stop. That's enough.
I'll say, and this will be my last thought. I thought it was interesting, that picture right there. All of the times where Batman was considering something or someone was talking to him and changing his mind, kinda 3/4 pose. It was always this, which is interesting because it makes him look like he's uncomfortable. It's not like, I am the knight and like grabbing people. He always looks like he's not quite. Again, he's kind of a broken person. He's a sad kid. When he walks into the Iceberg Club, he's even a little shaky, like as people are walking up to him. So it shows that flaw in his character, that he's not like this all-consumed spirit of vengeance yet. Like he's still getting his feet wet in there.
Vengeance. Oh, and speaking of that, like when the thug at the end says, "Well, I'm vengeance," he's like,
I'm vengeance. It's like, well, if you're vengeance,
then I most definitely can't be vengeance no more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then his voiceover is like, "I got to be more than vengeance now because these motherfuckers are vengeance and they're creepy." I gotta be better than creepy.
Shout out to Spark Daddy Dollars, who says, "Love the Batman 3 hours and no ass hurt means great film." You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it means you was able to sit down there and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. That's
your booty cheeks, your tailbone did not complain.
Booty cheeks wasn't even mad. Booty cheeks wasn't even mad, man. That's what's up.
All right, folks. Well, we're gonna wrap up this mini episode of Blurddot.radio.
Mini, no, it's almost 2 hours. Mini 2 hour. It said mini 2 hour episode.
We've gotten up to 2.5. We've gotten up to 3.
It's fine. It's fine.
Happy cheeks. That's our review.
So should we give our overall rating? You know what I mean? Like everybody on a scale from 1 to 10.
8 out of 10. I'm only saying 8 out of 10 because the next time I see it, I'm sure there'll be more stuff to notice. So I'm saying 8 out of 10 to leave room for growth. I'm sure it's going to be a 9 out of 10 before long. The only thing that makes this second to The Dark Knight, in my opinion, is there was no Heath Ledger. Other than that, fantastic. Colin Farrell, fantastic. Robert Pattinson, fantastic. Zoe Kravitz, I almost said Zoe Deschanel. I'm bad with names.
Wow,
fantastic. Jeffrey Wright, fantastic. John Turturro was John Turturro. It was just John Turturro in sunglasses saying threatening shit. Yeah, everything about this movie, there was nothing bad about this movie. So a solid 8 out of 10. Kenny, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna go with the 9 out of 10 with room for growth because I plan on seeing it again later this month in IMAX.
I did leave out Paul Dano, smart, my bad. Paul Dano, fantastic.
Yes, like everybody, I think this movie is better than Nolan because if you have to put a caveat of, but Heath Ledger did that, then that means the movie was carried by a man. And nobody did the movie, which made it that much better. Like, I could point out great roles from everybody, from like the good guys to the bad guys, everybody in between. And like you really saw Gotham actually be like a character in the movie as
really, dirty ass Gotham.
Where, like it's just like that Gotham City's supposed to be that what Christian Bale's protecting, but like it kind of stops being that after maybe a
it's
third.
not featured as prominently as it is in this movie.
Like I think people like because my friends and we're trying to like pressure me like even better than an older film, and I waited on it when I really thought about it. It's like like if you like every time somebody talks to you about the Nolan films, it's because of Heath Ledger. You take
it's not because of the actual
I did
film.
Like Batman Begins.
Yeah,
I did.
Listen, Batman Begins. Batman Begins is not bad. Honestly, I find it boring. If it's
Thank you. It's boring.
You know what? It's mid. It's boring. Like if
it's
you know
boring.
If you know the story of Batman, which like honestly, as we go generation to generation, and these families come out, most people know his story. Like there's no way to like not understand his story. And so you don't need to do the way Nolan. I mean, that's just the way Nolan wrote it, made his film. I get it. So like, if you go back to that, it's not fun. Like, every year I have a Batman marathon, and I watch all the Batmans. And like, the Nolan movies are like where once I get to like all the fun stuff, it becomes a
I'm sorry.
Like, I wish people would like look at those Nolan films a little bit more honestly. In terms of those were his ideas of Batman. Like he kind of used some of the ideas of what Batman was comically, but like that was still his concept of Batman. Whereas Matt Reeves' Batman is a love letter to Batman comics. But it still manages to be a popular comic book movie in the veil of every Marvel film. Like, if you really think, especially like what we just got with Spider-Man and what Doctor Strange is going to be, like Batman is right there up there in terms of being top tier storytelling, start to finish. Like,
it's definitely the best storytelling in any Batman movie.
Yeah, just a well-rounded story from start to finish. That honest, like you can poke holes in Nolan's story, like you really can. Like it actually took me a while to be like, well, there was. Like, they probably should have talked to Bruce Wayne after Alfred got blew up. But that was literally. But that was the thing. That was it. Because here's the thing: they probably interviewed him in the hospital when he was talking to Alfred. Like they. Probably,
I'm sure it was like a deleted scene somewhere.
But that's the thing. Like I had to stretch to find something. You know what I'm saying? Like if I gotta like actually pull something out of my ass to be like, I don't know why I didn't feel something good about a movie, then there's no reason to be negative about it. I liked it. I loved it. I thought it was like and in terms of like Warner Brothers recently, in terms of how they respected like DC Comics, I wasn't sure that we were going to get like a fun Batman that actually like was a love letter to comic book readers. Like I thought this was going to be more of like a movie just for people who want to see like another Batman in general or just a comic book movie. But like no, this is a Batman for everybody. It really is. So it's number one to me. It's up there. Like that one, and hell, I still like having fun watching Adam West trying to find a place to put a bomb. So,
with his bad shark repellent.
Shark repellent. Listen, Nolan don't be shark repellent and just there's no good day to get rid of a bomb. So he's number 3 anyway. So yeah, my rankings is this is number 1.
Okay. DJ Lokari.
Yeah, man, I've been thinking a lot about this too, as far as like where I would rank this one particularly. Yeah, man, it's most definitely in the top 3 of all time, and I mean probably one of my favorite Batman movies of the live action genre is still in my top 3 of my favorite. I'm still trying to divvy up like which one I would say is my top favorite or whatever. So I'm still kind of thinking about that. But yeah, man, it's like the fight scenes from the detective story to balancing all of these characters. I mean, it's a high 9 out of 10. And I mean, only time is gonna really tell like how this movie continues to progress and people continue to fall in love with it and whatnot. But right now, it's pretty far up there for me. You know what I mean? Like as far as just like a overall portrayal of Batman. And I mean, like honestly, the tech it just gave us so much room for growth. So it was hard for me to be like, oh, it's not this, it's not that. And as a dude who wanted to see where Batfleck was going, you know what I mean? Like. I was still, I'm very much, I'm down for the next Matt Reeves movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. Yeah. I'm 100% down to continue to watch this develop over time. Keep going. I'm with it. You know. So yeah, a high 9 out of 10 for me as in top 3 Batman films that I've seen. And probably the best complete Batman story that I've seen live action. So
it'll be interesting to see what the haters have to say about it, because you know somebody out there is like picking their brain trying to shit on this movie.
I mean, I've seen some people already kind of just yeah. I mean, the stuff people are saying like, yo, it's too long. Some people are saying you know,
but if that's the best you can do,
emo Batman. You know, I've been getting a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
It's like first of all,
his parents died in 2001.
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, man. It's like
he's gonna be. He literally probably listened to Panic at the Disco, like.
And plus, man,
he was grunge Batman. Like that man, Nirvana and Sonic Youth in the headphones.
Sure.
All, like he was. Just
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
something in the waves.
Probably like with the teenage spirit. Okay.
With that one, that also means he may have listened to Wu-Tang, which I respect. We're gonna wrap this up. If you like what you see here, tune in to Blurddot.radio, BLURDDOTRADIO, in 2 hours, here where you're watching this, and catch up with us every Sunday. Go to our YouTube, look at our old episodes. Go to SoundCloud.
Man, we used to not be online. We used to like actually be in the studio back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
It was a good time. Everybody did Malort shots.
Right? Yeah.
It was fantastic. But until 7:30, love, peace, hair grease. Go check out Blurred TV. Give it a subscribe. It's got like 33 subscribers. That's not enough. Great music videos. Videos by Can't by Dean are featured on Blurred TV. Can't by Dean will be on Blurdd.radio tonight. He is the winner of our second music video competition.
Music video countdown.
Man. Nobody else is curating music videos. It's us and YouTube. So go over to Blurred TV, BLURD TV. Check out some videos for 2 hours and then come back here and watch us on Blurdd.radio tonight. Until then, love, peace, hair grease. Keep wearing your masks.
Please.
I mean, you got a good reason now, even though Batman was doing the opposite COVID.
He was doing the opposite. He was not COVID safe, bro.
Everybody was doing up here. Nobody was doing down here.
Y'all do know that, Black Batman be wearing his mask, right? You know what I'm saying?
He does.
He took it off. Now he lets people know you getting your ass beat by a black guy.
Yeah, man. Anyway.
Until 7:30. Bye. Love you.
Blurddot.radio. Blurddot. Blurddot. Blurddot.